Let's talk about a draft strategy that I'm seeing rolled out quite frequently. I've been using it a couple times. We're gonna see here as we get our the Double Move Sports Listener League going. We get our home leagues rolling. How do you feel about starting running back, running back, running back, so the triple RB stack at the beginning of fantasy drafts this year?
It's great. I would rather go robust RB with that triple RB stack than zero RB. I actually love it. I think there's so much wide receiver value later on in drafts this season that if I'm in round 1 and 2 and I can stack a combo like Kamara and Josh Jacobs or Barkley and Aaron Jones, and then add an upside guy in round 3 like a Todd Gurley or James Conner, someone with a lot of question marks, but if things go right and they stay healthy, they could be an RB1. I love it. Imagine starting out with Saquon Barkley and Aaron Jones, locked in, stud running backs, and then you take a flyer on a Todd Gurley in round 3. If Gurley ends up staying healthy and being utilized as often as we want him to be in Atlanta, you could have 3 RB1s. And to me, coming back in rounds 4 through 6, there are so many wide receivers with upside there. Like, pick up any combination of Chark, Lockett, AJ Green, Devontae Parker, T.Y. Hilton. Yep. The list goes on and on. There's 15 names in that range. Pick up any combo of two to three of those guys in rounds 4 through 6. And if you have those stud running backs to start your draft and those wide receivers, you are looking nice, especially if you can come back around with Crowder, Golden Tate or Marvin Jones as a safe floor play at your flex later on. So it's just so difficult to find elite running backs in fantasy football. So to me, take as many shots as you can when the value is there. And I think you can always piece together your wide receiver 2 or flex spot if you need to, if you have those elite running backs. So for me, I'm not necessarily looking to go triple running back as my draft strategy, but if the value's there and it happens to fall that way, I have no problem with it whatsoever.
That's always let the draft come to you. Always let the draft come to you. And that's why it pays off to be a smart fantasy player, because you know where the values are and when it's the right time to pull the trigger on a name. I preach stacking running back early. So I don't mind the triple RB option. The question really comes down to opportunity cost for that third running back. Based on Fantasy Pros' current expert census rankings, right now the running backs that could potentially go in the third round would be Todd Gurley if he falls a little bit. There's some reports that we'll talk about with Gurley here in a moment. Leonard Fournette, Chris Carson, James Conner, Lev Bell, Melvin Gordon, David Johnson. Those are the running backs that you're looking at in the third round. I think I would take, of those, probably Fournette, Gordon, maybe Todd Gurley there. The wide receivers that you're seeing in the third round that you're giving up would be names like DJ Moore, which I don't want to take any of those running backs over DJ Moore, but Keenan Allen, Mike Evans could be volatile. Juju Smith-Schuster could fall to the third. Amari Cooper could be there. Adam Thielen as well. So it's going to be a decision that you're going to have to make just depending on how your draft goes. But if you are looking at, Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, I don't mind going with Fournette or going with Gordon, knowing that you can get a solid wide receiver in the 4th round and really just stack wide receiver for the next couple rounds and end up with a haul there. I'm on board with Fournette or Gordon in the 3rd. Imagine having the stacks, like you named some of them, but like a Dalvin Cook, Nick Chubb, Melvin Gordon, or a Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Leonard Fournette. Yeah, think about this, like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Kenyon Drake, and then Todd Gurley. Like, that's such a good combo to start your draft.
Like, you were going to tell people about your running back stack, and they're going to think you're in an 8-team league. And you're going to be like, no, my team's just amazing in a 12-team league, so I'm good to go. That's like the kind of roster that your work friend tells you about, and you don't care whatsoever, and he's in like an 8-team league with his cousin who's 10 years old, and you're just like, dude, I don't care about your roster, but you're actually going to have this in your league where you are in a competitive setting with your friends or workmates or whatever, hopefully winning some money. So this is a possible strategy, and I love it. Like, coming out with those kind of running backs, whew, that's hot.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about running backs that we can take later on, like the David Montgomerys, the DeAndre Swifts, Jonathan Taylor, names like that as well. If you want to wait around and still get an upside shot,